Hi Ramesh.
Yeah, hi Anish.
So I am Ashish, and I will start with my introduction, and then
Okay,
we will start the demo session.
okay,
So I have overall 13 years of experience in SAP, MM, SD, LE, WM, and EWM. Out of that, 5 to 6 years of experience in EWM, and I have done several implementations and worked on the various support projects as well. Other than this, I
okay,
am SAP, MM, SD, and EWM certified as well, and I have been
okay,
providing trainings as well from last 3 to 4 years.
okay. Great.
So, can you briefly tell me about yourself if you have SAP exposure and how much you have EWM exposure?
Yeah, okay. So right now myself I'm working in an MNC one, no, MNC. Right. From since last 4 to 5, I have experience in MM in 4 to 5 years almost. And EWM, I don't have any exposures. It's I'm a fresher in EWM.
Okay. Okay. Should we start?
Yeah, yeah, we can start.
So, Nikita, uh, do we have any time limit in the Zoom? It should not happen that the Zoom drops out after 40 minutes.
Yeah, I can see now.
Okay, so we will first go through the PPT and then we have 15 to 20 minutes in the system.
Okay,
Okay, so SAP EWM is, in MM we store the stock at the storage location level. Okay, but if the warehouse is very complex and fast moving products are there, so in that case, the client would prefer to go with SAP EWM. So there are two
okay,
forms of EWM. The first one is with the earlier version, non-HANA version, where the EWM comes in the separate box other than ECC. But in the S4 HANA version, we have the EWM embedded with the ECC in the same box. Okay, so
okay,
in the WM offering, SAP initially started with the WM version of the centralized, then WM decentralized, then they move on to the EWM decentralized, and now they are coming with SAP EWM in the centralized version in S4 HANA. So this is the basic organization process in EWM. We receive the goods from the vendor. The goods would be lying in the good receipt staging area, and from there we will be moving into the storage bin, that is in the EWM. That will be issued for the production staging. We complete the production and again store the goods in the finished good storage bin. Then from there, it will go to the customer for shipment.
okay.
So as you know, the organization structure on the ERP side, when you uh, do at the material management level, it will be at the storage location level only, the stocks are stored. But when you implement the EWM, you have the warehouse which is assigned to the plant and storage location combination. So this is the organization structure in the EWM. You can see the warehouse is attached to the plant and storage location, but now you can see that the warehouse is further subdivided into different structural elements, that is the storage type, storage section, storage bin, and then the quant. So when we compare with the EWM,
Ashish, just a second. What is quant?
so the quant is just the characteristics of the material. So the last location where the stock is stored is at the storage bin, and when the stock is stored in the storage bin, that time it generates the quant based on the characteristics of the material. So if the material which belongs to the same characteristics, you can still add to the same quant. But in case the batch is different or the expiry date is different, then you can put that in the same storage bin, but it will generate the different quant number. And that we don't need to worry about that because that will be system generated. The system itself generates the quant number, and when the complete stock is removed, that quant is automatically deleted, the number.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Can go. Yeah. Please.
okay. So earlier we had SAP WM, but now the SAP comes up with EWM, and this is the difference between WM and EWM. There are a lot of functionalities which were not available in the WM, but SAP is providing that in the EWM. So, have you ever worked on WM?
No. Oh no. Frankly, not. I just gone through some of the terminologies only in handling. Not
Okay.
gone through the process at all. Yeah. I'm totally fresh to the WM or AWM.
Okay. Okay. Understood. So, in the SAP WM, that was the very basic warehouse functionalities. It's just like getting the stock from the vendor and move it into the storage bin. But it nowhere talks about the process-oriented storage control, where when the stock is removed, it may have to go through the counting process or the quality process, right, before going into the storage bin. So that will be covered in the EWM, in process
Okay.
oriented storage control. So that is just one of the example. Okay. So when the
Yeah.
EWM was in the different box, then the data transfer between ERP and EWM takes place to the safe interface. That is the core interface. But now it is not applicable because the EWM is now coming in the same system as that of ERP.
Okay.
But the distribution model we still need to activate, as although it is in the same system, but we still have the RFC connection set up between the ERP and the EWM. So this is how we build the warehouse. The plant in ERP is assigned to a storage location, right? And then the storage location will be assigned to the warehouse number in ERP. The equivalent warehouse number will be assigned in the EWM. So this warehouse number E00, which you can see on the screen, is just a kind of bridge between ERP and EWM. It has nothing to do in any of the transactional data or the master data posting.
Okay.
This will be the warehouse structure. You have the warehouse, then you can see 0010 high rack, that is the storage type. Within the storage type, you can have fast moving product and the slow moving product, that would be called as the storage section. And within the storage section, you can see several bins. So we have the doors, because when the truck comes in the warehouse, the truck will have to be assigned to the door where the truck is going to unload the products. Okay, the unload products would be then unloaded into the staging area. Then from the staging
Okay.
area, it will be moved into the deconsolidation. So the deconsolidation concept is that if you have two different products coming in the same pallet, then you may have to segregate the two products and store separately in a bin. So inbound process, the goods comes in from the vendor, it will be stored in the fixed bin. From the fixed bin, again, it will be packed and then goes to the outbound staging area for the shipment to the customer.
Okay.
And this is the yard. In SAP, we have the yard management as well. That is about the truck movement within the yard. So when the truck comes to the gate, then from the gate, it will go to the parking area. Then from the parking, it will come to the door. So all those truck movement will be managed in the yard management in SAP EWM. But that is, I mean, rarely used. It will be used only in case of huge warehouses where there is a high goods movement and high volume. So that trucks,
Sorry to interrupt here. Can you hear me?
yeah.
Yeah, one question here. Any accounting document and material ledger documents will be generated during the time of PGR and the PGI in EWM?
No, because whenever the PGR and PGI is done in the EWM, the subsequent entries will be posted in the IM side as well, in the ECC. Okay, so whatever accounting document and the ledger document are required to generate, that will be generated in ECC only.
But it will be generated, right, at that particular event?
Yes, I mean, of course, it needs to be generated, because when you do the good receipt, it will hit the stock posting and the GRIR posting and everything. The SAP EWM is just about moving the product within the warehouse. Okay, it will not hamper any other financial accounting document or any other postings.
Okay.
The difference is that when you post in the IM site, you will simply post at the storage location level and it generates the accounting document. Okay, and when you do at the WM or the EWM site, it will post at the storage location level. Then from the storage location level, it will go to the warehouse and then it post in the bin, right? And when it is EWM, then once the posting is done in the EWM, it will complete the GR document in the IM and generate the accounting and the financial document, and based on the
But
movement type and all the settings.
within the warehouse, like tagging to quant or bin, in that case, it will not take, right? Only
No, it will
the
not
GR.
generate. No. Because accounting document, when we generate, when it is going to hit any financials. So in case we are doing something, we are scrapping the product in the warehouse. So that time it generates the accounting document, but not in the EWM system. Because when you do this scrapping in the bin, the subsequent scrapping will be done at the storage location level as well in the IM site. And that time it generates the accounting document based on whatever the setup you have done.
Okay, thank you. Understood. Very clear.
Okay, now this is the storage type. We already talked about the storage type here. Then we have the storage section, storage bin, and then the quant. Then in EWM, we have the additional building block, that is the activity area. Okay, so activity area is, we assign activity area to we group the storage bins and assign the activity area to the storage bin. It is based on the different warehouse activities. Like for the replenishment, we have the activity area for the put away, picking, inventory counting, and all. Then we have the door from where the truck comes in and truck goes out. Then the staging area we already talked about, where we are unloading or loading the products into the truck. And then we have the work center. The work center is the unit in the warehouse where you can perform the additional activities. Like in the inbound side, if the truck comes in, the truck unloads the product in the staging area, then it will go for the quality inspection, or it will go for the counting, or it will go for the deconsolidation. Right? And in the outbound side, when we issue the products from the bin, it will go to the packing work center where we have to do the packing or value added service like polishing or labeling, whatever additional activities we need to do, that will be done in the work center. So we have the different documents in the EWM. I will quickly tell you about this. So in the inbound process, we have the purchase order and inbound delivery that will be created in the ERP. Then in the EWM, when the inbound delivery is distributed into EWM, it generates the inbound delivery notification. That is just the replica of the inbound delivery in ERP. And then it creates the inbound delivery in EWM that we need to process further. The inbound delivery notification was there in the non-HANA version where the EWM is coming into separate system. But here in S4 HANA, we don't have the inbound delivery notification. It is just like the purchase order, inbound delivery, and then the inbound delivery in the EWM. And similar to the outbound process, we have the sales order, outbound delivery. This outbound delivery request is not there in the S4 HANA version. Then we have the ODO, that is the outbound delivery order. And once the outbound process is complete, this outbound delivery document is simply generated in the background. And similar to the posting change.
One question here. Whatever you said, outbound delivery order, right? Do you have the output type as well for that? For all these
No.
documents?
Oh, no, we have the document types, not the output types. So
No,
there
no,
will
I
be
agree.
separate.
Yeah, because see, if you go in ERP side as outbound delivery, there will be output type for like picking list, packing list, or bill of lading, proof of delivery, example.
Yes,
So
correct.
similar way in EWM, if you go at the outbound delivery order, the user has to get the notification, right? Whenever some event has triggered. In that case, do we have such feasibility here?
Yes. So I'm coming to that. So we don't
No.
have the bill of lading or the packing slip or something. The reason being that is the paperwork which is printing once the PGI is done. So even though we are executing the process in the EWM, okay, when the outbound delivery is completed in the ERP, that time it triggers the paperwork from the ERP. But we need to have the picking list here. Pick ticket, you mean, right? The pick ticket where the user will, I mean, the warehouse operator will take the pick ticket and go into the shop floor and complete the picking. So that will be generated from the warehouse order. So what will happen when the outbound delivery or the inbound delivery is processed further? It will create the warehouse task. The warehouse task is the document which tells you about the goods movement. It is going from which location, the source location, to what location, and it is used for which activity, for picking, put away, posting, change, etc. And the warehouse document is just the executable work package for the employee. So with reference to the warehouse task, you create the warehouse order, and the warehouse order you are going to print it. But again, we don't have any output types here in the EWM. It is to the PPF, the post processing framework. So based on the post processing framework and the condition records in the EWM, it prints the paperwork. So the warehouse operator is being printed and taken to the uh, shop floor. The warehouse order contains the details of the warehouse task, and accordingly on the RF gun, the user can scan the source and destination and the label and whatever they want and complete the picking and PGI. Clear?
Yeah, clear.
Okay. So in ERP we have the ECC, we have the NAST, NACE, right, or the BRF plus to generate the output. But here we have the post processing framework. Okay, so the post processing framework, I mean, that is about the action profile, that is about say delivery. In the delivery, what action you are going to perform, print the delivery or print the HU, whatever. And accordingly, you need to set up the PPF and it will get printed based on the condition records you maintain. So that is all together a new terminology in the EWM.
Uh, uh, See, we have a different combination in a NACE and NAST. So does it work based on the combination here as well,
Yes.
post-processing framework?
So yes, in the post processing framework, you have different action profiles and different action conditions.
Can you just elaborate and give one example in action
Uh,
profile, like what we are going to take, and in actions, what are the documents and what order type we are going to take, something like that, right?
so okay, for example, your requirement is to generate the warehouse task automatically after and complete the uh, received automatically, right? For example, when the goods are received from the vendor, okay, you want to automate the inbound process. You have defined the fixed bin and you want the goods directly to go into the fixed bin. In that case, you have the action profile for the inbound delivery, okay, because that is coming for the inbound delivery. And then in the after action profile, you have the action definition. So action definition is for the warehouse automatic warehouse task creation. So in the action profile, you select the inbound delivery. In the action definition, you will select the automatic warehouse task creation or the warehouse task creation. The warehouse task creation you will set up as automatic. Okay, and then you maintain the determination procedure in the configuration, like for which inbound deliveries this will get determined. And when that inbound delivery is created based on the determination procedure and the condition record, it will get determined, and it will generate the warehouse task automatically and confirm the warehouse task. Okay, so in that case, once the inbound delivery is distributed into EWM, you don't need to do anything in the EWM. Everything will be completed automatically. Based on the PPS settings, it generates the warehouse task and the warehouse order confirmation. And based on the fixed bin strategy, stock will directly go into the fixed bin. So as soon as you distribute the inbound delivery into EWM, the inbound delivery, the good receipt process is done. So that is just one of the examples. Other than that, you can have several PPF actions like HU printing when you want to print the handling units, and then when you want to print the warehouse orders, that is the big ticket. Okay, but if you are thinking from the ERP point of view, to print the bill of lading or to print the material document or to trigger the IDOC, that may not happen here, because I mean you are printing the bill of lading and all for the truck driver, right? Or for the packing list, you are printing for the truck driver, and that will still be printing out of ERP, because ERP is still the preceding document. Understood?
Yeah.
So these are the other EWM terminologies. You have the warehouse process type, that is equivalent to the movement type in the ERP. Then you have the warehouse order creation rule. So warehouse orders are created based on the rule, and accordingly it will be assigned to the operator to carry out the subsequent warehouse processes. Then the storage control, we already talked about process oriented storage control, where it is going after the good receipt, it is going to the counting, then quality inspection, then deconsolidation, and then finally into the bin. And the layout oriented storage control is like if you have 10 floors on the warehouse, and you want to move the stock from the first floor to the 10th floor. So it will go through the different processes, like from the staging area to the ground floor, then the ground floor to the lift section, then from the lift to the 10th floor, and then from the 10th floor of the lift to the final destination bin. So that will be a solution through the layout oriented storage control. Then the replenishment, when the stock level goes down to the minimum value, it will top up the bin with the replenishment quantity. And accordingly, you have the different EWM terminologies. Okay, so exception handling is like during the picking process, if the operator realize that the bin is damaged, then it will raise an exception at that time only, which will trigger the workflow, and then redirect the operator to the different bin. So that is a kind of error handling. Okay, now we will see one inbound process in the system. Okay, so I will create the purchase order. Okay, so I am creating a purchase order for say 10 pieces. One, two, four, five is generated. Now we will create the inbound delivery. Okay, in the inbound delivery, you can see this storage location is assigned to the warehouse Q01. So this Q01 is just a kind of intermediate between the ERP and the EWM. In EWM, this Q01 will be assigned to Q001. So 495 is, so when we go to the EWM, we will open 495 inbound delivery. That is the inbound delivery transaction in the EWM. We will go to the 495. Okay, so you can see that EWM, in the EWM you can see the inbound delivery, and this is the inbound delivery number in the EWM generated automatically. And here you can see the reference of the ERP document. But now you can see the status as red. That means something is wrong in the inbound delivery in EWM. So when I go to the item level, I can see that this warehouse process type, that is the movement type, it is not determined automatically. So that could be based on the configuration or the master data issue. So I will manually add it. Okay, so now it turns green. So I will go on to the following function and create the warehouse task. Okay, so in the default value, you can put or I mean the system will automatically determine where it needs to go. But since this is a test system and we don't have the appropriate setup, I am manually putting the storage pin. So we want the stock to move. And Nikita, this meeting is going to end automatically, as I told you in the beginning. Okay, so we will quickly run through it. This is the destination bin. Now when we save it, create and save. So it will generate the warehouse order. It will create the warehouse task and in the background warehouse order of the 10 pieces. Okay, so you can see the warehouse order 304 is created. Now when I go to confirm the warehouse task, warehouse order, you will see the warehouse task as well. Okay, so this is the warehouse task 305, which shows the activity area. This is carried out for what activity? The warehouse process type, the product, and then the destination bin. Okay, so now you will have to confirm the warehouse order, but for that you need to create the handling unit, because this is managed in the handling unit. The handling unit would be created through the peak HU. You go to the peak HU and then enter the packaging material. This will now create the handling unit. It doesn't exist. I will take, say, EWM palette. Now click on create and it will generate the handling unit. The handling unit will be assigned here. And now you click on the confirm and save. So it will confirm the warehouse order. So you can see that the stock is received. The 10 pieces are received in the loose, cases or boxes. And in the packing section, we need to create the handling unit, and that will be moved into the storage bin finally. So the warehouse task is confirmed. And when you now look into the inbound delivery order, you can see the good receipt is completed and the put away is completed. So the warehouse activity is completed. And if you want to see the stock, then we can go to the monitor. So in ERP we have MMBE, but in EWM we have the monitor. So in the monitor you can see all the documents and everything. So you go to the stock and bin and see the available stock. You enter the product here. So this meeting is probably going to end in 5-10 minutes based on that notification. And you can see all this. The one which we have received is in this bin. Okay, so do you have any questions?
So to learn EWM, is it mandatory to understand WM, or it is okay to learn?
No, I mean, if you know the WM, then you just need to, you are familiar with the functionalities, the put away strategy, the picking strategy, staging area, that's it. But to learn EWM, you may have to unlearn WM. So if somebody knows the WM, then he will have to unlearn the WM to start in the EWM, because the EWM is quite complicated. Like for example, in WM you have the storage unit management, but in EWM you don't have the storage unit management, you have the handling unit management, right? And the picking and put away strategies in WM are configured totally differently. In EWM it will be configured totally in a different manner. So in WM you have the transfer request and the transfer order, but in EWM you have the warehouse request and the warehouse order. So it is not the extension of the WM, but it is altogether a new functionality, new system.
Okay, so you mean it is no interlinked, so you can start even if you don't know the WM, correct?
Yes, you can start. And the only advantage of being aware of the WM is that you know how the goods move in the warehouse. Like from the staging area, it will go to the destination bin. And from the destination bin, how it moves during the customer shipment. From destination area, it will come to the staging area and then goes out for the shipment. But that is just the small part. Most of the functionalities in EWM are new and not available in the WM. So even if you do not know the WM, you are good to start the EWM.
Okay. So how long this session will take? Example means to undergo the course of EWM, like 1 month, 2 months.
It will take around 2.5 months. I mean, you can say 45 to 50 hours.
Okay. Do we get the server access for this?
Yes, I mean that Deepali and Nikita team would be providing you all the details.
Okay. So I am a
Just
MM
can you go?
consultant. So MM with EWM combination would be a correct, right? So will that
Yes,
work?
yes, because nowadays, everybody is MM. So the client is
Uh-huh.
looking for the different combination, and since the WM is going to be sunset in a few years, it will be
Mhm.
all about EWM. So EWM is the future.
Okay. Because I have experience in TM as well.
The TM, you will get the advantage of TM with SD. So if you are the
Hmm.
SD consultant, then you may prefer to go with the TM. But you are the MM
Um,
consultant, then it will be advisable to club WM with EWM with MM.
yeah, because I know logistics execution part as well, like STO process, again bill of lading, PGI, PGR, all this activity comes. So it is all interrelated.
Yes, correct. So the EWM comes under logistics only.
Okay. Okay. Then it's a perfect combination to undergo. Yeah.
Yes, correct. Because if you see in the market, then you will see the requirement say SDTM, or in other requirements you will have MMEWM.
Okay.
Nowhere you will be expected to work on MM and TM.
Okay. Yeah, that is correct. So it's totally we undergo the transport request, carrier, and freight, those and all. So it is
Yeah,
not
like
linked for the any material. Okay. Okay, that's all from my side.
okay, Nikita. Nikita, should we close the call then? Looks like she has dropped off. Okay then, Ramesh, shall we close the call?
Yeah, just one last bit question. Can you go back to the initial screen where you were explaining about the two different systems
Where in this PPT?
in the PPT? Yeah, in the PPT.
Yeah.
Go back to the initial, to the first one, first slide. I think first, second, or third one. Yeah, yes. Yeah, come down, down.
Where you wanted
Down.
to go?
Yeah, come on, more. Yeah, this one. So can you right now we will be training on what is which one? Embedded one, right? The training
Yes,
will
embedded
happen on
one.
embedded one.
Yes, embedded one. Because embedded one is the latest version that is in S4 HANA. In non S4 HANA, you had the SAFE concept, but in embedded one, this data is automatically transferred. We don't need to maintain the separate business function, business partner in the EWM.
Okay, you mean to say once we create a business partner in ERP, it automatically displays in EWM?
Yeah, that will be used in the EWM because there is just one business partner.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's it.
But we still need to set up the distribution model. So I will, I mean, the meeting is still going on. It has not ended automatically. So I will show you the configuration as well.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, looks like the system is disconnected.
You can you can ping her on chat, I guess. Once on Nikita.
Sorry?
So You can. She's not responding. No? So you can ping her on chat.
No, I think the meeting is going to end in 5-10 minutes automatically, as we got the notification.
Oh.
Okay, so when you go to the SPRO, okay, so here you create the warehouse. Okay, you go to the definition, and then in the logistic execution, you create the warehouse number. Okay, this warehouse is just as an intermediate between the ERP and the EWM. Say, for example,
Okay.
we are taking any warehouse. You can say what we used for our transaction, Q01. Okay, Q is 01. Now we will see this Q01 is assigned to a plant and storage location. You can see this Q01. It is assigned to the plant and storage location. Now you can see the same Q01 assigned to the EWM warehouse. So you go to the EWM, and here interfaces, ERP integration, general settings, and map the warehouse number from ERP system to EWM. So you will see this Q01.
So whatever you are showing, the EWM is present in the same right system. There is no separate box here.
Yes, that is the S4 HANA 1809 version. So we have the EWM in the same box.
Okay. Because I could see all the configuration SPRs are available. That was.
Yes. So TM is also in the same system. So there is no separate, EWM box. So here you can see the warehouse number. Okay.
Okay.
And you can even see the WM here. In the logistic execution, when you go, you can see the warehouse management. Okay, and you can see all the warehouse management configuration here. So how do system know if it has to go with the WM or the EWM? Because you have configured the warehouse management, and then the warehouse management number, WM number, is assigned to the EWM number. Okay, so that in that case, you have there is a setup here, basic setup connectivity, and then you set it up here. If you want to go with the WM or the EWM. Okay, so these are the warehouses, and here you will define if you want to go with the local WM or the EWM. So when you go with the WM, then you will have to do all the settings, all the configuration which are there in the WM. And if you want to go with the EWM, then you need to configure everything in the EWM. And that will be of all the master data. You start with the warehouse number, and then storage type, storage section, storage bins, staging area, door, whatever we discussed, the activity area, the work center.
Once after we enroll in this course, right, we'll be taken through the end-to-end cycle, right? Starting from the master data. Because if we create any dummy data, example, master and vendor, then only this will come into the inbound delivery.
Yes, correct. So we will create the new warehouse altogether. Okay, and from the new warehouse, we will create the master data, the configuration, everything. And then you will be getting the system, and you can play in the system. You can again create the new warehouse based on the training you did. And in parallel, you can complete the configuration, and you can learn more like that.
Okay.
And in case you have any questions, then you can anytime ask me in the training sessions.
Okay.
Okay, so the
Do
approach
we get
would
any?
be,
Email ID would be very good because only in training sessions it will be like too much time consuming to ask the repeated questions or back sessions.
Yeah, so that we can sort it out in the training sessions itself. So if you have any questions, then you can send me the email and I will reply you immediately as soon as I can.
Okay.
So we will create the new warehouse. We will assign the warehouse to the plant and store location, and then the WM warehouse will be linked to the new EWM warehouse, and then we will set up the master data in the EWM. Then we will do the configuration. Then we will start with the basic inbound process and the basic outbound process. And once you are comfortable with that, then we will go on to the advanced EWM processes. So the advanced EWM process, I mean this process oriented storage control, layout oriented storage control, radio frequency, RFID, then deconsolidation, then transportation unit movement, the replenishment, yard management, and all this.
Okay, and I don't find here a cross docking. Even that will be covered because that is the latest topic now. Everyone is discussing.
Yes, cross docking will also be there.
Because nowadays nobody wants to waste the space whenever the truck comes in and the immediate another truck will be ready to take out. So that concept is more now.
Yes, that is only there in case of big warehouses, because generally the business process is that when you receive the goods from the vendor, you store it in the premises and then you issue it for the production. Okay, you receive the raw material from the vendor, you convert the raw material into the finished product, and then you use the finished product for the shipment to the customer. The cross docking is only used in case you want you are purchasing the finished product from some other vendor and you are issuing the same from the staging area of the GR section. You are moving it to the staging good issue section, staging area of the good issue section.
Yeah, I heard this is used mostly for the tax benefit, like based on one location to another location, third-party services and all. We use this.
Okay, I mean, no worries. I mean, we can cover the cross docking as well.
Okay.
Okay, then should we close the call?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.